Hey, there's a lot of green. Green, zippy cup. Oh, I hadn't been this clean in a video in a week. It's Sunday. It's kind of speaking quietly because my husband is back. And Lord knows I don't need his input on these live videos. If you're here looking for entertainment, you're not going to get any today. So you might as well go on with your bad self. Oh, I just saw my friend Julie, and now she's disappeared. Julie, I'm glad you're here because that is a God sign to me that I'm talking about the right thing. So I'm assuming most everybody on the planet watched Bishop Curry yesterday. Caught you 2 live days in a row. Yay. And if you did or you didn't or whatever, we had church breakfast and church lunch today, and people were like, talking about it. And anyway, we had some good conversation. And so think what you want. But last night I read this great article, and I'm going to read it to you. I shortened it and put it on my blog, but I'm going to read it to you. Okay? So stay with me. We expected tradition, stiff British upper lips, fascinators. We did not expect to be taken to church. But I'll be damned if the most Reverend Michael Curry, the first African-American presiding bishop of the Episcopal Church, then my printer ran out. His sermon quoted from St. Paul and Martin Luther King and centered around the redemptive something. Harry and Meghan, the love Jesus had for the world, the power of unselfish love to transform the world, raw displays of emotion, such as Bishop Curry's, are profoundly un-British. Hey, Corinne. But we as Americans are free to eat them the hell up. Ooh, I love that. At this point in history, when the world seems to be getting crueler by the minute, a plea for self-sacrifice and a call for a life centered on love for a neighbor are exactly what we need to be hearing. We have got to start loving one another. We really did not expect to get inspired by a royal wedding, but there you are. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go join the Episcopal Church. Ooh, I just like that. That was written by Dave Holmes in Esquire yesterday. And anyway, I thought it was great. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of what I'm going to talk about. So I'm funny, generally funny. Well, yesterday I took the kids over to Elizabeth City. And we had the best time. We left Amos at home. They were like, let's leave him here. He's been kind of a pill because he hadn't felt well. We went to Chick-fil-A. We went to the pawn shop. And we went to Salvation Army where I danced, and had a good time. But when we were out of Salvation Army, there was this little girl there. She was tiny, like 3.5 or 4. And she was just talking to her mother. And it made me so sad, which doesn't usually happen. But I missed the boy I wanted Amos to be yesterday. I missed him so much. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I think it's okay to acknowledge that. And I want other mothers to know that we can feel sad because there's so much joy. But sometimes I miss it, and I miss who I thought Amos was going to be. And we had a great day, and we went on and on. And then last night, as I was thinking about Bishop Curry's message, I felt so much love from that because he just said, you know what, damn it, just get out there and love everybody. And that, for a special needs mom, that's really what we want. We want our kids to live in a world and have people love them. I mean, that is all. I always tell the school, we have these IEPs and we have all this stuff, but really, we just want you to accept them. That's it. And so today at church, Amos participated, and Amos's Sunday school teacher is Ted, my friend Mary Scott's husband. And Amos loves him. And Ted has dedicated his whole year to taking Amos to Sunday school. That is love. And that is what Bishop Curry was talking about. And so for anybody that, said things like this, because, I have to be a smartass, it was simplistic, overwrought, cliched, politically correct, far too long, a poor foot forward for the Episcopal Church at this time of division with the Anglican community. the fuck does that mean? I don't even know what the Anglican community is. And neither does half the world. But people listened to that. And millions of people heard love. And they saw joy. And they saw a man that got up in front of a great big church full of, people. And he didn't care what they thought of what he was going to say. He thought, I got 14 minutes. 14 minutes is not that long, for the record. 14 minutes to remind people that they're loved. Now, one person said this. She would rather it had been like this. Because somebody said, what would you rather have heard? An eloquent commentary on the mystical nature of marriage as understood by our faith. A commentary on the union of Anglican and Episcopalian spirits at this time of disunity. Far less repetition and pulpit banging. Well, the pulpit banging was the whole damn best part, I think. And again, I don't understand all this Anglican stuff, and nobody tell me, because I don't even want to know. I have no interest in filling my brain up with that. Just like I don't want to know how to do geometry anymore. That part of my life is over. It was on Saturday Night Live last night. If you people don't get what it means to go out and preach the gospel, to be on Saturday Night Live, like he did what he was supposed to do. So anyway, the special needs mama is telling you it was good. And I pulled the special needs card, and then you can't argue with me. The one person did today. Hi. Now, this one fella is very annoyed. He said he acted not as the stately head of the Episcopal Church, but like a televangelist buffoon, preaching the church's newfound love of leftist politics. The dog whistle references to revolution, redistribution, and sanctuary cities were unmistakable. As an Episcopalian, I was embarrassed to see Curry rant like the Arsenio Hall preacher character in Coming to America. And here another person said this, I cannot agree more. I was here praying for him to stop. It was an embarrassment. This was not the time or place for a Black history lesson, nor a political rant. Awful. When is the time? When are we ever going to make the time? And you know what I said? I said, I think for me, I went to church this morning and took Amos. And our church was built the original one was built in the 1600s, 1700s. I'm not a cradle Episcopalian. I'm a cradle Presbyterian. My parents, we went to church, but we weren't, I'm not holier than thou with church. So anyway, our church 100 years ago, or our society for that matter, if I had walked into our church with Amos, people would have said, no, he doesn't have a place here. He belongs in an institution. School, 1975, before then, there was no place for him at school. So when you hear somebody say, love, 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 you're saying there's room for everybody, I think. And maybe if Martin Luther King, annoys you, then so be it. But, shut up. You're going to get annoyed at lots of things. I'm sure you get annoyed with a lot of things. And so I pointed out, nothing like having 4 children to make you not quite so difficult. And this person said this to me when I said that. He quoted me, nothing like 4 kids and one with special needs to loosen up a soul. Again, your family situation versus mine does not put either of us on a higher moral plane. There is a reason ad hominem arguments, like the ones you continue to make, are a logic fallacy. Do you understand this point? I have absolutely no idea what that point is. I don't know what a logic fallacy is. I don't know what ad hominem is. No, so I don't understand. Anyway. And then it says, I need to clearly find out what the ad hominem logic fallacy is. Thus my bewilderment with your continued disregard for a logical conversation. So maybe, and the comments are up at my post this morning, that article, maybe the deal is that it's not logical. It is not logical. But is love ever logical? I mean, I don't care if you're gay, if you're transgender, if you're regular, you could be married to whoever you want. I don't care. Christ is so specific that you just should be loving to other people. And so that's all I'm left with. And I think if people get all bent out of shape over his sermon, then you need more to do. You need to come and be like Ted. Come and volunteer on Sunday mornings and take a 4-year-old to Sunday school. And make his mother know that he's loved and there's a place for him. So until you start complaining and saying the Episcopal Church and the Anglican, just think for a minute and think about what you're doing. Because I'm thinking about what I'm doing. And I don't do enough. But I'm going to do more. So anyway. And I'm really not like somebody said, well, you can have a time to cry. Listen, I cry all the time. For the first year I wrote, I cried incessantly because I was grieving my brother. And I'm not as much now. Hi, Jonathan. But now, it's okay. Because if you acknowledge the way that you feel, then it doesn't own you. The same way I say I weigh 176 pounds, damn it. It doesn't own me, right? And so when I see people getting upset and using these words and they're all in a snit over a message, I think, what the hell is going on in your life that this is so upsetting to you? Like I'm constantly dealing with this fear and worry of this little boy who's about to be 5. He's going to be 5. And how long am I going to be able to carry him? And, big, big things worry me. And I'm constantly saying, go away, worry, go away, fear. So when I see people getting bent out of shape about stuff like this, I think, what the fuck? Anyway, sorry. But I'm not sorry. Anyway, I'm just going to tell you, most of us, if we're sitting here today and we live in this country, we have a lot to be thankful for. And I sure do. I don't know how I ever got so blessed. But I do know that I hope I leave people feeling loved. You want to see my shoes I got yesterday? Oh, look. Crap, still has the price tag on there. Oh. They were $4.99. Well, that's your lecture for today. If you people didn't go to church, now you've had it. I think I'm going to go wash my car. And then, though I'm hungry. Why am I hungry? I just ate. It's the story of my life. And this isn't about, I don't care if y'all didn't like Bishop Curry. I really don't. But just think, I didn't know you lost your brother. Yes, 1990, 27 years, 28 in July. He was a good one, too. And I'm glad whoever's out there didn't tell me that they didn't laugh, because I would have gotten you. Those shoes were made for walking. I know. Weird for the setting. Rebecca, I'm not even going to read your comment, because it's going to piss me off. Anyway. Weird is good. Weird is good. Don't do what's expected. Do things that aren't expected. Anyway. That's what makes the difference. That's what people remember. It's kind of like dancing to Michael Jackson at the Salvation Army. Don't you want... that's the difference. Like, my life is so much more fun when I start taking myself so seriously. Anyway. Clearly, it's fun. Okay. Carry on. I might not talk to y'all till August. I'll think about it if I have anything else to say. Goodbye.